Hey you guys, I hope everyone is doing well, having a nice weekend. Today is what? Sunday? Sunday, I'm like, what? Alright, so we're gonna dive into a little bit more of like the astrology look at it, a look at us, and we're gonna tap into Venus and Mars. You know, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, you know. So to dive into like how we initially look at relationships, right? It can't not be like that initial surface level, right? The whole looks, the appearance. So let's tap in and I hope you guys like it. Okay. So Venus and Mars, true love, values, and the art of seeing beyond the illusion. All right. Today we're diving into something deeply important, the way men and women interact. The dance of masculine and feminine energy. And remember, you guys, we all have masculine and the dance of masculine and feminine energy, and how often we get pulled into illusions of love. We live in a world that celebrates surface attraction, the glitz, the charm, the lust, the luxury, and yet it can blind us to something much deeper. Venus energy, the energy of true love. Value beauty, fairness, harmony, and emotional intelligence isn't just about looks or excitement, right? It's about essence. It's about the ability to give and receive love in a balanced, virtuous, and meaningful way. Mars energy, masculine energy, often brings action, strategy, competition, and desire. It can be exciting, magnetic, and irresistible. But without Venus, it can be selfish, manipulative, and blind to the true worth of the person in front of you, right? To see past the experience and want to navigate and journey through, dive in deep, go into the depth of the actual person, right? Behind the appearance, essentially. And I would hope anyone looking for a long-term relationship is going to invest in that, right? But what does that take? If we even want to do that, it takes knowing ourselves and choosing to invest in ourselves, so we really are able to find our matchable like soulmate or person, you know, even friendships, right? Your best friend, like you guys link because you have a lot in common, or you don't, but you know each other enough to like respect each other enough to say we have differences, but like I like your differences. How can we work that out? I know, I'm corny, okay? All right, so when masculine and feminine energies come together, we see the full spectrum of human connection. And that is obviously investing in the other to understand, see them for their true worth, right? And it can take time. And obviously, I think we just need to be more patient with one another. Because if you initially see someone and you are attracted, like, get to know the person before, you know, doing the other things. You know, because it pulls like a whole misread situation over it, you know, like misreading someone we're all out here doing this schmexual things, you know, but it's just, we need to take more time to get to know the person inside before making any judgments, and then, you know, plummeting from, you know, like discarding the person, or just not taking that, like just taking them at first value. And sometimes it takes a minute to get to know someone and to see them truly for their value. So when we allow to see the full spectrum of the human connection between two people, or even groups of people, what have you, there's the instant chemistry, the playful banter, the mutual recognition, but also the karmic lessons and choices that test our integrity and discernment, right? So, and that takes for us to really know ourselves, because we are, like I said, we are mirrors to each other. So you will bump into karmics but there's something within you that's like a karmic trait, right? That you maybe need to like work out and see it for what it is. Take the accountability for it, understand the emotion behind it, all the above. But you know, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's that deep, right? But if you're gonna have a relationship, even a friendship, like it should be that deep. And it should become that deep, right? I mean, we are out here, if we're forming relationships and connections, we should be able to be honest with ourselves and with another for growth. It is growth. It is simply growth. Or you double down and you double back into Karmicville, to where you guys are just feeding off of each other's like wounds. And it creates issues. It literally, you don't go anywhere with it, and you just end up laughing it off, when in reality, it's an issue. And it's just poor energy being surfaced or like served around, you know? So we should be growing. We should be growing individually, and when we connect with others, we should be able to be honest with each other and be able to talk about our flaws. I really, and it can be hard, but if you care about the person, it comes from a caring place. It's not a tit for tat place, right? Where we're just angry and resentful of one another, but then we just ignore it. So it's being comfortable enough to do that, especially if you are calling these people your friends. And I think at some point we do need to sit back and reassess where we are at in our lives, where we want to go and grow within our lives, and look around our peers in the pews. I don't know, they're at church, but might be, but like your peers, and say like, can I really like speak on my feelings to them, or are they gonna poke fun at me or judge me? Or can I be really honest, and like, and then they can see within them too that they can feel that comfortable, and we can grow from it. Who's gonna take leader, you guys, who is gonna be the leader within the group? Make the change to grow. It's huge. I think it's just a smart idea. If you see that like your group of people are staying stagnant with like acting like 12-year-olds, you know, and you're in your 30s, there's a moment in time to say like, okay, bar fights and shit aren't probably appropriate anymore, and we have looking at jail time, like, you know what I mean, or whatever it is, you know, or gossiping all the time. Like, is it appropriate, you guys? Does it benefit you really? Like, where does it truly, do you feel better at the end of the day? And that takes a hard freaking look at ourselves in the mirror. So who's going to stand up in groups? And like, I've done it in my friendship groups. Others have done it in my friendship groups. And we all had to sit down and talk with each other. And it was helpful. And you bond amongst that. So here's the thing, you guys. Sometimes we mistake attraction for love. We're drawn to someone because they look a certain way, have a certain status, or create drama and excitement, right? And yet, underneath, they may not honor your value, your essence, or your Venus energy, that love energy, okay? That's where heartbreak, confusion, and missed lessons can come in. So true connection isn't just about who can seduce or impress. It's about who can reflect your value back to you, and who can hold space for your virtue and integrity. Okay? So let's make it practical. Notice the energy you bring and the energy you accept, right? What you bring into the room amongst your friends, and when you really sit in that friendship group, talking, drinking, whatever you're doing, you know, discussing, like gossiping, whatever, is that topic of conversation. And this is also between obviously one-on-one connections, the person you love, relationship with even your parents, you know, or your child. But, you know, are you sitting back within, say, the friendship group, and are those your values? Are you someone that can say it out of your mouth as well and mean it? Are you accepting what everyone else in the room is saying just to accept it and be like a part of the group, and don't want to like ruffle anyone's feathers if you say something outside of it that maybe will contradict it? Like, we really have to sit like and think about that, because you do become who you are around. And that status level can sometimes only meet a level if you're not growing within and being confident and independent within self to speak what you truly value. So let's just remember and notice, take notice. You don't even have to say it out loud. Like, take notice the next time you guys, you're in a conversation with the family member, your friends group, your friend, or what have you, like your lover, and see if, notice the energy you bring into it, your thoughts, your feelings when you go in, and what you accept from it. And if it's truly something you align with. That's why we even say with the whole, if you get out of a relationship, or you even leave the room from the group of people and you go home that night, like, how do you feel? Have you taken on that positive energy that was surfacing or that negative energy that was surfacing, and was it yours? And do you agree with it? You know, it's finding the value within yourself again. So I'm just saying, it just like every morning, checking in with self. How do you feel? How do you want that day to look for you? What is your next step forward, you know? And trust me, you guys, I had to learn these things myself as well. Like we all do. All things that we recognize, that we feel, that we don't like, or that we do like. It's a moment to recognize it, process it, and either learn from it, understand it, ask the questions about it, and then you can move forward. Even if that's you and you doing the healing from something traumatic, or getting the opportunity to discuss what occurred, you know? So it's just really us, you guys, like taking the time, having patience with one another. And do we care enough? Do we care enough about our friends, who we call our friends, family members, lovers? Do we care enough? And do we care enough about ourselves? Right? Because we expect that. Because we expect, right, that everyone that we know in our lives loves and cares about us enough like that. You would hope, right? That they would honor you as much as you should be honoring them. And sometimes those are recognizing flaws or areas within ourselves that we need to step it up. We need to grow. And I don't think that's bad, right? I don't think that's bad at all. I think we all want to take those steps. So, all right. So, noticing the energy you bring and the energy you accept. I know, I want to bring it back so you guys know. Okay, so Venus in action. Someone who listens deeply, nurtures, and prioritizes fairness. Mars in action. Someone who takes charge, pursues goals, and asserts themselves. If one dominates without the other, right? Because we all have the Mars and the Venus, the feminine and the masculine within us, right? So if one dominates without the other, you may feel tension, imbalance, or cycles of drama. Shadow sides show up here too, right? So those wounds, the unhealed places that we don't really like to like step into all the time, right? They're uncomfortable. They are uncomfortable. Say it how it is. It's uncomfortable. But it's necessary for growth within self and to grow into a stronger couple, into a stronger community, a stronger dynamic within the family. And think about what you want for your family. You would be teaching your children this. So we have to learn it first before we can we have to be the student to be the teacher, be the parent. Okay? And it's a good way to look at it, right? So when our shadow sides show up, Mars can become aggressive or manipulative, and this goes in females and males, you guys. We're supposed to be a whole encompassing being here, you know? All right, so Mars can become aggressive and manipulative. Venus can become overly idealistic or people-pleasing. Seeing this helps us refine our choices. So let's all slow down. Reflect on where your energy is going, right? Notice who truly honors your essence, the essence from within, not just the essence of the beauty on the outside. Okay? And who is just playing the game of competition, manipulation, or surface attraction. Protect your Venus in all of us, males and females. We all have that. So protect your value, and remember, true love isn't a chase, it's a mirror of who you are and what you bring into the world and what you bring into the union. And the deeper lesson, When masculine and feminine energies align correctly, there's chemistry, yes, but there's also clarity, respect, huge one, right? And mutual growth. So when they don't, we get pulled into cycles of drama, pain, and disillusionment, right? And that's where the ego will be thriving, but like thriving off of negative, wounded, unhealed areas within us, places within us. So, but even then, it's a lesson for us to recognize, right? Our value. So it's a lesson to recognize our value, protect our virtue, and choose wisely. And that takes patience and really understanding self to understand another. And if that person will align with you for lifetimes, you know, so for this lifetime that you're in. Okay, so we can take some practical guidance here, right? So observe your own energy. Am I acting from Venus or Mars right now? Notice red flags in others, right? Are they honoring my values or just performing? Align actions with integrity. Am I being authentic, right? Or am I performing to impress? And even at first when we do meet each other, you guys, yeah, there is some form of a mask. We're on our best behavior, right? Unless you feel like super comfortable with that person, and then it can like, it can be exactly what it is. But no, but like there is some form of a mask. So like you go on that first date, all those things, and you want to present yourself the best way. But it to impress is make sure that's still aligning with your values, you know, because we don't just all dump all our stuff on someone right at first. But there will come a point where, yeah, you're going to have hard times, and each individual is going through their own stuff. And if you guys are continuing, you have to be able to be there for the hard times and the good times. And the hard times are when you choose to build, when you choose to really, that is when you see. That is truly, and this goes in friendships, family dynamics, all the above, career, like within your career. You really see when shit goes to shit, like who's there, who's willing to work through it with you, and really see the really like layered back version of like chaos or like, you know, stressed out moments, all the above. And at that point, like, yeah, things can get shaky, but are you gonna work with that person to work through it? Because we've all been there. We've all been there. And it's safe and feels nice when someone is through that, goes through that with you. And when you do sit in that really vulnerable, scared moment in time in your life, and someone else is there for you, and you guys can work through that is how you build. That's how people get to that power couple, that strong, unbreakable union. Because you guys know each other in and out, and you respect each other, and you see the value in seeing what it takes to struggle together and as individuals. And like when you have children, it's that much harder, you guys. So thinking you're just like having babies out here, like, oh, that's gonna keep me with my person. Oh my gosh, you guys. I mean, it could, but it is that much harder. So it's like, why aren't we learning now, especially for the single people out there, like really take the time to love on you and understand you. You really know yourself, and you will be at your strongest to also align with someone else that has done that work as well, most likely, right? Because when we're developing within self, not only are we learning, growing within self, and patient and enjoy our alone time, but we are at a higher frequency, and that is when you align with others that are at a higher frequency, that understand themselves and have the patience for other people, have the space for another, for those moments of like tower moments or weaker moments in our lives. But you guys, and two, like, this is why there must be a baseline of human decency. If we can regardless if you like the person or not, there is a baseline of human decency. And that alone comes with respect. And that is shown through your actions. I am sorry. Like that, and that is a direct reflection of who you are. To have human decency to others. A homeless person on the street to the CEO of whatever company. To being in a church, to being at a football game. It just is. And that is where I think a lot of us have gotten away from that. Have gotten really far from that. And that should be a value and a moral that is like within all of us. I mean, we learn that, right? Even at 2 years old, like younger than that even, like we don't take from others. Like give that back. That's, saying thank you. But it's come to a point, I think, like we have to, why are we saying thank you? It's almost like we have to understand the basics again. And with the whole thank you thing, you guys, that's also like us just sitting around in a group and accepting whatever's going on there. Even if good, bad. And we're like, yeah, like, ha ha ha, like. So it's like the whole, like, not understanding why we're even saying thank you to something. Like, why are we chiming in when if we don't really sit with those values, that conversation with, like, what's being gossiped about? Are we having a constructive conversation, or are we having a damaging conversation, So it just all comes back to who are we? What do we want? How do we want to not only perform, but truly be from our core, our soul. And that's why they say, understand and really live by what your true morals and values are. And sometimes we have to remember those. And sometimes they change, because sometimes they aren't like what the church has taught us. Maybe we veered off on like a spiritual path or whatnot. But like, honestly, like spirituality, it's like, I mean, like if we're talking God's all one, but so are we. We are a whole human being. And like everyone wants the full package, right? And another being, another person, but are we that full package? Are we even that base of that human decency? Are we kind? Are we respectful? Are we true to ourselves? Do we know how to stand up for ourselves? Are we independent? Can we work with others? All right. So, and I think this is a good way, like I think I said on one of my other videos, it's really important, or I find it important for all of us to actually like check in with like our astrology charts. Like this is where the Mars, Venus, all the planets, all, where it aligns within our birth charts, right? We are all the signs. Some of us, but it's like, where do those signs align within your birth chart? Is it in your family, a family home dynamic? How are you within your family? You could be like a Virgo, it's like, or like a Scorpio within like your work environment. It's just interesting. So, but what I was going to say, so if you're into astrology, here's a quick note. Venus signs reveal what we value and how we give love. Okay, while Mars signs show how we pursue desire and assert ourselves. Understanding these dynamics helps decode attraction, tension, and compatibility. Okay, so take a breath. Honor your heart, you guys, and let Venus guide you in relationships. True love is patient, observant, and discerning. It doesn't settle for illusions, right? It's like settling for an illusion. You are playing yourself. Don't let anyone else play you either. And it can be hard. It can be hard to know, but that takes getting to know yourself and taking the time to truly get to know another. Like it is worthwhile, right? So it thrives in depth, authenticity, and alignment with values, okay? And here's a good affirmation that you guys can say for this. I honor my Venus energy. I protect my value. I choose love that reflects the best in me and brings growth to both of us. Okay? And that, my loves, is the energy we want to cultivate in this era. Slowing down, seeing beyond the surface, and remembering the love of Venus in all of our relationships, right? Okay, and that is it. That is all. And I love you guys, and I hope this was helpful. But definitely go check out your astrology chart. You'll find it interesting. You learn a lot about yourself, okay? So I love all you guys. I'll put my offerings at the end. I hope everyone has a good rest of their weekend. Sunday. It is Sunday. All right. I love you guys so much. Bye.
Had it just like that, had it right on track, and I keep finding